But always on the way, she'd find this bloody antique store, and I'd always end up being late to a game. Welcome to the second episode of Conversation in Cars. This year, Toyota are taking you behind the scenes to talk about the AFL and mental health. Today, we're focusing on the Toyota Good for Footy Raffle and the impact that community sport has on people. We've got a very exciting guest, so let's go pick them up. Righto, Bridge.
We're off, Browny. Good day for it.
Just leaving the Brunswick Street Oval, the home of the Fitzroy Football Club. More importantly, the Fitzroy Junior Football Club, Bridge, where you're like the godmother of the Fitzroy Junior Club, are you?
I'd like to think so. Yeah, absolutely, Brownie. No, it's a great club.
What a beautiful place, beautiful grounds, aren't they?
They're beautiful grounds. Some days it feels like a country town, and then you look across the tops of the trees and you see the city buildings. So it's an amazing environment for the kids to be in.
How many juniors have you got playing for the Fitzroy Junior Club?
So this year we've got just over 600 kids, 606 kids registered to play. We have teams from under 8s up to under 17 and a half.
Right.
So we can now give an end-to-end footy experience for boys and girls who want to continue play footy once they get through juniors.
And of course, you wear the Fitzroy colours. The old Fitzroy jersey,
yep.
the jersey that I grew up wearing and supporting.
It's a wonderful jumper, and it's so great to have such an iconic. Have the lion, have the symbol there, and it's just fabulous to see the kids at school all running around in their some little ones, some of them still in their footy jumpers from Sunday.
It brings back great memories as a kid. The teachers would let me wear a Fitzroy jumper to school on Monday after we had a win. Now, in the later years, Bridge, it was only once or twice a year.
Not a lot of footy jumpers.
Yeah, because of course Dad played for Fitzroy. But it's great to see carrying on that tradition. And I still remember, after we won the premierships of the Brisbane Lions, we'd go back there on the Sunday at your home club now, and you'd see the turnout from all the old Lions fans. It was just fantastic. I thought, what a place to play football.
Just a wonderful spot. We're so lucky to have people who are just so invested in the club and so invested in putting on a game for the kids, and to have those really those bolted on supporters that, with Fitzroy, Saturdays when the senior club plays, all the old merch comes out. It's just fantastic, and just I think shows how important footy is. In a community, even in a city community, in a country community, it's the glue that sticks everything together.
And you've got a young fella playing for Fitzroy?
I do, yes. Our son Jack, he loves his footy, loves the environment at the club. He was saying to us recently that he's never enjoyed his footy more. So that's fantastic.
What is he, a goal kicker or a midfielder?
He's a forward pocket.
Forward pocket, a little goal sack.
Yeah.
Toyota grassroots football, the Good for Footy Raffle, and their contribution to grassroots football. It's been amazing over a long period of time. The Good Footy Raffle's been going for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Tell us about your interactions and your experience with the Good for Footy Raffle, especially during the COVID years.
Yeah, absolutely, Brownie. The club's been involved with the Toyota Good for Footy Raffle now for the last 4 years, and it's not an exaggeration to say that our first year in the 2021 year, the raffle was crucial to our ability to survive across that period. Obviously having no footy the previous year and just a half the season in 2021, we needed that support that we get through the raffle, and it's the amazing thing with the Good Footy Raffle, and what makes it so easy to sell for our members is that the club gets to keep everything that it raised. Money that we raised and that we keep from the Good for Footy Raffle, we were able to pump back into our programs to attract kids, to restock the equipment, because with 28 teams, that's a lot of footies, a lot of the training equipment that we need, a lot of first aid kits, a lot of those things. So it was crucial to us getting back on the field in 2022, and it's continued to be our main fundraiser. And
I think we forget about that a lot, don't we? Just the amount of equipment involved in footy clubs, and now with the explosion of girls footy, women's footy, like my two girls play it, I think it's just fantastic. But essentially now, all the resources have doubled. The equipment required has doubled.
Absolutely.
Volunteers doubled. So it's
And
quite amazing. So you do need this contribution from Toyota and the like.
Absolutely. The Good for Footy raffle really enables us to, as you say, to broaden our program fairly significantly. Again, through the raffle, we've been able to tailor some programs particularly for girls coming in around tackling, how to be tackled, how to tackle, how to protect
That's
their
important, teaching them to protect themselves.
to protect themselves, and particularly
because sometimes they go too hard for their own good.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me about your experience with AFL, Bridge. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up 40 years too early, Brownie. I would have loved to have the opportunity to.
You were a tough inside midfielder.
I would have
reckon,
loved
Bridge.
it. I would have given it a fair crack, I think. But to have
You would have travelled around with the boys, because they're football, netball clubs in the country.
football netball clubs, and it doesn't matter whether it's a country club or a city club, that volunteer ethic.
People do so much work behind the scenes.
And I think, I just can't imagine the effort and red tape and, knocking your head against the wall of actually establishing a club from scratch and, starting with an under 10s team with 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds, getting enough kids on. And
You think they know better than all of us.
exactly right. That's one thing that hasn't changed, isn't it? So, it's fabulous to be involved. Our family's had a fabulous experience in our engagement with the club, and we want to leave, particularly, from my role on the committee, as well as being a parent. We want to leave the club in a really strong and viable position. The Good for Footy raffle, it's our number one fundraiser. It's something that we don't have too much trouble selling to our parents, because the message that we keep, the money that we raise, and that money gets ploughed back into the football experience that their kids are going to have, is an easy sell. And going back...
You're doing a good job, because where are you rated in the country?
We're currently, as of last night, Brownie, we're 6th on the national fundraising ladder for the Toyota Good for Footy raffle. And again,
Mighty effort.
that's a magnificent incentive to bring out to our families. And it does go to providing that really safe environment for them. Sunday's footy, it's your safe place.
It's got to be a place, that's right, a safe place, a place of enjoyment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, like a shelter they can go to and see their friends and
just
be supported by.
Exactly. Across the 28 teams that we have this year, we'd probably expect to have about a 50% win-loss ratio, but it's more for us about the development of the kids. Both in their skill acquisition, but also in their social and other engagement.
I'll tell you what I used to love it, and growing up in the country, you appreciate this, Bridge, because we've got to travel long distances like you've spoken about. To get to games, I used to love the conversation in cars with our parents. You said it was your old man taking you to the footy. It was always Mum, because Dad was coaching back home, so Mum would drive me all around the countryside. If it wasn't for her, the taxi driver that she was, I would never have made it to the highest level. And I used to love the conversation with Mum, and she'd put up with my frustrations after I'd play no good, and I'd put up with, she'd put up with my frustrations when she used to always, when we'd go to the game, we might have to travel 2.5 hours. She loved her antiques. So always on the way, she'd find this bloody antique store. And I'd always end up being late to a game. I'd be late for the meeting. One day, the coaches made me sit on the bench because Mum had stopped at an antique store and stayed a little bit too long.
It's a tough conversation.
So, geez, I blew up at Mum.
Bit of feedback.
But geez, I tell you what, I miss her dearly. She passed away suddenly 18 months ago, and I sort of think back, I sit in this car now with you, Bridge, and I sort of think back to those memories and the good times with that, and I'm just so fond when you talk about the football and the travel and the connections to grassroots football.
Dad was a farmer and so busy, always doing a million things. And so it was pretty much the only time that I'd get to spend with my brother, sitting in, having Dad's sole attention for the, as we were saying before, sometimes some quite long trips.
Yeah. And
he was probably a frustrated teacher. So the first part of the journey would be, all of these, mental arithmetic problems about, trains leaving Sydney, travelling at 60 kilometres
Oh,
an hour.
yeah.
Once, where are they going to meet? So I've got no
There would
idea.
have been, being a farmer, there would have been something about the weather.
Always,
as well.
always the weather, and always, an assessment as you go along of the crops. So that's a good crop.
That's right.
That's that's that we need more. All of
East,
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, they're just so much fun, the car trips. No doubt you and your brother, you would have got into many arguments.
We
and
certainly
pushing
did.
shoves and all that.
Absolutely. We're only 15 months apart. Dad used to give him a fairly forensic assessment of his performance on the way home. But again, with
a bit of solid feedback for the young
solid
fella.
feedback
The
on what he found,
360.
and the thing that used to just drive him crazy, which we laugh about now. Dad did. He was in the box doing the timekeeping or the votes every week. But as a matter of principle, he never give my brother a vote.
I got in trouble for that last year. I said to my daughter, I was assistant coach, I'll never vote for you. Wow.
Yep.
Did she
Never.
have the
No.
Did she have the shits up with me when she didn't run top three, the best and fairest?
To have that really great experience, and to recognise and be grateful for the sacrifices that your parents and all of the other parents made to put footy on and to make stuff happen. That's the lessons that I've taken from that. I mean, I want Jack to have exactly the same experience, even in a city setting that I did, where
And you're passing on that experience now, aren't you? You're coaching, guiding and mentoring, even though you didn't get the opportunity to play. Like you said, you're 40 years too early, Bridge, but you're ahead of your time. But you're now passing on all that knowledge to the youngsters that you're really, you'd say you're like the matriarch of the Fitzroy Junior Football Club. You're passing that all down.
Yeah, and that's
just like your dad did to you.
Exactly right, and that's I want Jack to love his footy, and I'm thrilled that he does. But I want him to also to recognise our coaches do such an amazing job. It's a big commitment.
It is.
We had a coaches' night a couple of weeks ago, and I just love listening to their strategies for getting kids to listen. And one of the coaches said, like, you never speak to them standing up, because when they're standing up, they can hide behind each other. So the first thing, as she said, get the whistle out and then get them sitting. 1, 2, 3 eyes on me, sitting on the floor to get started.
No, it's fantastic. Well, Bridget, there we go. Thanks for joining us for Conversation in Cars.
Thanks, Brownie. It's been lots of fun.
Go the mighty Fitzroy Junior Football Club.
Go the mighty Lions. Cheers, Brownie.
See you, Bridge. Take care. Follow along this season as we invite guests into the Conversation car for a chat.